I'm going to open my can here at point Delta Bravo to get my next point. As I open it, I've got a nice piece of paper here with my next grid on it. It's going to be 14 Romeo, November Tango, 39380885150. That's MGRS grid. So once I have that point and I've written it down, next comes the mission planning stage. All right, so once I do have the information off of this, this piece of paper in the can, closing it, making sure it's secured. And then a really important thing here is to get back to a tactical location away from this point, so I'm making sure I'm not talking to any students. So I'm going to go get tactical, secure, and then I can mission plan from there. Good little trick here to know where we're at currently before we start mission planning to go to another point is just like terrain association, looking at your map and seeing like how a road bends versus where we're at, and then looking at your surroundings to also know where you're at. So on this map right here, you can see that there's a lot of terrain to the east and to the west, and we're on a hardball road running roughly southeast to northwest. First thing I'm going to do is walk out on this road. I'm going to pull an azimuth of where this bend is right here. Looks like it's going about due north, 360. So then I'm going to compare that to this map with the terrain features. Then I'm going to go down this direction. I'm going to continue walking. And this is a big like U right here. So this is going to be a very like seeable feature on the map, is a U in the road. Alright, once again I'm taking a quick knee. Pulling an azimuth, and I'm seeing about a 275. And then also looking in here, I'm seeing what could potentially be some type of wetland in the wet months. And I'm seeing a lot of hills on my east and west. So when I look onto my map, I see a big U in the road going from southwest to northeast. And I'm seeing a lot of terrain on my east and west. And I'm seeing what could be wetland right there during the wet months. So with all of this knowledge that I just created by just looking at my surroundings, comparing it to my map, I can be pretty much 100% certain that I am right there on the south end of that U. Resection is where I'm at, so re is me. I'm going to need to find two, at a minimum, locations that are known on the map from my point when I'm lost. So if I find a point such as a water tower or a radio tower, I can then take my compass and shoot an azimuth at it and then convert it to a back azimuth. Something to keep in mind here is that's going to be a magnetic direction. So then I'm going to need to use my GM angle, which is right here, to convert a magnetic azimuth to a grid, add a GM angle. So GM angle here is, where is it? Can't read it. 4.5. So I'm going to add 4.5 degrees to each of those back azimuths, and then I'm going to draw a line from that known location straight down the map in that direction. And then I'm going to do it from the other location as well, and where those two lines intersect, that's going to be your location, a rough grid of where you're at. The more points you can find on the map and pull a back azimuth to, the more refined that location is going to be for where you are at.
So once I've called up my point, taking Missouri base, Delta Bravo, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move into a secure area away from the point because other students will be coming here to see their waypoints. So I'm going to find my position and I'm going to plot my next waypoint that I just gotten out of the ammo can. So our next point is 14 Romeo, November Tango, 3939 8810. So I'm going to take my protractor on the straight edge and line it up from the point that I'm currently at, and I'm going to be going to the next spot. Once I have my straight edge lined up, I'm going to use my map marker. I'm going to strike through both points and make a straight line. Once I have that straight line, I'm going to take my protractor and put it on the point that I am currently at to get my my grid azimuth. I'm going to write that down, 329 degrees grid, and then I have to look down at my declination diagram to get my magnetic difference. And to convert a grid azimuth to a magnetic azimuth, I need to subtract the grid to magnetic. In this case, it's 4.5. I'm going to round up to make it a complete 5, and I'm going to minus 5 from 329, and it'll give me a 3 to 4 degrees magnetic heading. And now I'm going to be looking along this route to see what type of terrain and other obstacles that I'll be encountering. While I'm looking at that, I'm also going to measure how far out I am from my next waypoint. So I line up a piece of paper and I'm going to mark off my start point and my next waypoint, and that is going to give me my distance in which I'm going to be traveling. Then I come down to the bar scale with those distances that are marked off, and I'm going to be measuring in meters how far I am from my point. And now I know that I'm going to be walking 324 degrees magnetic for approximately 1,850 meters. And along that route, I'm going to have little indicators to check off as I'm going. And that's including jeep trails, water, hills, anything along the way that I can do or I can use as checkpoints to see where I'm going to be headed. Now that I have a couple of checkpoints along the way, using my pace count, I know at approximately 1,200 meters, I should be encountering some sort of body of water or a dried up lake or pond bed itself. And then at 1,400 meters, I'm going to be hitting a road or a jeep trail, followed by a 1,500 meter, I'll be following another road or a jeep trail. My backstop is going to be that east-west running road or unimproved surface or an unpaved road is going to be my backstop. My left or my westernmost boundary is going to be a hardball road or an actual blacktop or concrete road. My eastern boundary is going to be hills. So along the route, if I'm going up hills or I'm going down any type of hill, I need to bring myself back towards my heading of the 324. So my distance, my direction, my boundaries and backstops have all been annotated, and I am ready to move to my next point.